we are really excited to do this second community call. The whole thought process of doing this call is to make sure that we share what we are building with our community, and we also make sure there is enough opportunity for other participants and community members uh, who believe in our mission, and who are looking for opportunities to be the part of it. So I'm gonna kickstart this conversation. First of all, I'm gonna talk the team, so that everybody knows who is behind the project, what we are trying to build, what we have done previously. So yeah, quickly talking about team. Me and Nishchit, we both are the founders of the company. Combined, we have more than 15 years of experience. I've been a founder myself in the past in Web2 space for 3 years. And then I think in last 5 years, I've been working in Web3 full time. I was one of the early employees at Polygon, so I was handling overall NFT growth ecosystem at Polygon. And then later, I worked for another organization called Techion, which is like an accelerator run by Consensus. And Consensus is, like everybody knows, is a company formed by Joseph Lubin, who's one of the co-founders of Ethereum. So that's about me, Nishchit. You'll find these. The purpose of sharing this is like you'll find these people helping you out on the Discord. So just to give you a context, who these guys are. But yeah, I would love to give a shout out to other team members who've been helping us. So other than all two of us, there's like three other members. These are all the cool people that I'm talking about, who you see on Discord helping you and dropping in message. So we have Devansh, who's already in this call with us. There's Kunal and Rohan. So Devansh is responsible for everything marketing, arranging this call as well. Kunal is everything that you see, visuals, like design, graphics. Then Giantkin is one of our contributor who joined from our very good friends from Shapeshift. So he helped us set up all the Discord, and how do we cultivate our initial community on Discord. And then Rohan helps with the partnerships and integration with other projects. So yeah, let's move ahead. So yeah, before I start this call, this is a idea that Devansh shared, that so we're gonna give out exclusive merchandise to people. Feel anything good, you liked anything that we talked about, we would love for your feedback. So post it on social media, Twitter, whatever it is a positive, negative, on our Discord, and share it on our Discord. So we want people to talk more about Mercle if you like it. Even if you don't like it, we are like, the feedbacks are mostly welcome. So yeah, this is one thing that I wanted to just put out before starting the presentation. The presentation is going to be talking about who we are, what we are building, and what we have done till now, and what are your opportunities to be the part of the project. First of all, I think I would like to talk about why we are building Mercle Network, why we felt that there is a need to build an infrastructure like this. So our whole thought process around building this identity and reputation layer is, as the AI technology advances, there's going to be a lot of content online which could impersonate any individual, right? And you need to have, so it's super difficult in order to identify if a person is actually human or not. But I think the fairly right way to start for it is how much probability you can come up with and say that, okay, this person is 80% human, right? There's a probability of 80% humanness. So that's what this is like the whole philosophy, what we think, like rather than going for the end use case, we believe that as this technology advances, there's going to be a lot of value created on chain, and there's going to be you need primitives to distribute those values to people who can identify themselves as unique identities on internet. Now I'm going to talk about like how we are thinking about doing this. So the fundamental the building blocks in which we think about identity and reputation is attestations. Think of attestations like the attestations you have in real world. In India, I've lived my majority of life in India. There are like notaries who attest certain information about yourself, like are you a graduate, are you this much year old. So yeah, so attestation acts as a building block for our identity network. Our philosophy and thought process behind it is that that identities and reputation are fundamentally really, really complex, but they are very relative, and they are a composition of what other people are signaling about you, right? So if I come to calls late, I'm a person who's always late, right? That's my reputation and personality within that particular ecosystem. So fundamentally, our thought process is like, how, if these building blocks can be used to create different social primitives, but on a fundamental level, you need a infrastructure that allows you to issue these attestations, which allows any organization to say anything about some other individual. And then the cluster of these attestation build your identity on that network. Um, so this is the how. What? So now, if this happens, right, what we'll have is that when you collect these attestations from for doing different things, or participating in different activity, these 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 attestation altogether builds like a global identity system, a truly a system which is based on your work, not on something that any centralized party is issuing. So yeah, the long term goal of where we want to take this is a truly decentralized global identity network that allows any individual on the internet to hold their identity and have the capability to control the access control for that identity data. So this is the what for us. Now I'm gonna. This was the whole philosophy. How, what is our mission? I can go hours and hours on this, but I think I want to come to the meat of just to also we have this philosophy what how we have been executing this. What is the response and what we have done in the last 6 months. So this was first I'm going to talk about 2023, what we have done in last 6 months, and then I'm going to talk about how we're planning the next 4 to 5 months. Sorry, there are a lot of notification that keeps on coming, so I have to continuously keep letting people in. So yeah, so since when we started thinking about this attestation infrastructure, the first 2 months we spend time on building how do we make sure that this attestation infrastructure has an application, right, that it can be used. And when we start thinking about that application, we start talking to a lot of DAOs, especially protocol DAOs, to see how they want to use identity and reputation in their ecosystem, which made us realize that these attestation alone cannot solve a use case, and you would need additional application module on top of it to solve use cases. And hence we have built a dynamic NFT module on top of it. So first 2 months was essentially to integrate public data sources. What that means is like blockchain, all the APIs, so that we can capture the proof of work for the individual from those data sources. And then creating this dynamic NFT module. Once you create that, there's this enough time spent on creating an in-house indexer and an access control implementation. Think of it as a module that allows to validate any on-chain transaction. So it's pretty easy to capture a proof of work from any off-chain or any existing Web2 platform. But when it comes to blockchain, you need to essentially listen to the blockchain transaction, then decode, and then put a business logic based on that particular community. So the first 2 months, we spent majority of time building this infrastructure, talking to a few clients who can be our early partners, doing this. So the result of these 2 months and building this out was we launched a wait list. Almost 2,000 people, more than 2,000 people signed up. Our first POC was with Polygon, which was a great success. Polygon used Mercle attestation network for their music community. So it was a I think participation from more than 15 dApps from Polygon ecosystem who participated in this. So yeah, this is more of the result. I want to talk. So the sequence of this like what we have built, what are the numbers for to show if those things have worked or not. So yeah, started the POC with Polygon, added 3 more clients who want to do the same things. When we launched our application use case with them, we saw great results. on a at network level, we issued almost 70,000 attestations. The use case that we reached out, we saw great increase in the user activity on those particular dApps who use Mercle. Uh, the next to, I think, once we launch this, once we launch this network, we realized that there's a huge demand for attestation, and we need to work on the back-end attestation infrastructure. So the next 2 months, we spend time on setting up our dedicated IPFS node. What that means is essentially, right now, all your attestations are assigned verifiable credential, which are being stored on IPFS. But if you see, IPFS is not a permanent storage. It is a decentralized storage, but it is not a permanent storage. So you would need a dedicated IPFS node, or you can take a third-party service. But having a third-party service would not give you that reliability of that data. So yeah, we set up our own node, which would be the core piece of this network once we launch and we decentralize, to allow other nodes to be a part of this network. So we did this beta internally, wherein we launched our own node with its own client so that it can verify and attest these attestations. We spent, like, this was a major part. We also, so yeah, decentralized validator and attestation provider is a part of it. And then there's another important use case was for a reward distributor. So we also deployed a new contract for that essentially allows to connect these attestations to the blockchain. So imagine you are doing some amount of work, and for those work, there are different dApps who want to issue you token. So this was I think one important thing that we did was this reward distributor module, which was a requested feature request from Shapeshift as well, because they wanted to issue Fox token cashback to their user. And we are seeing the similar trends from other dApps as well. Progress for this one is essentially we added almost, sorry, there's another request. I need to approve it. Yeah. So yeah, the numbers from this one was almost 16,000 attestations were issued. The number of attestations these 2 months was less than the previous one, but we added more valuable users because these were more on-chain transactions. We added 2 more partners, Powerloom and Split, who are using our reward distributor as well to distribute their token. So that reward distributor module worked out well. We participated in Token 2049 to meet our friends in real life, like Sin Future, Shapeshift, and all these guys. So we did a little like a closed gathering, but yeah, I think in the future event, we'll try to invite more members from the community. Yeah, then next quarter, next January, February, what we want to make sure that we launch our interoperable SDK, so that allows any dApp to natively get this ability to issue attestations and support our existing attestation to create their community. We want to make sure that all these attestations which are right now stored on your IPFS data vaults can be directly accessed through your MetaMask. So I don't know if all of you guys know, MetaMask has this another feature called MetaMask Snap, which allows MetaMask to connect to any blockchain. So that blockchain could be, Ethereum, Bitcoin, any non-EVM blockchain also. So the next, I think the January, February, we are also make sure that the experience should be seamless, and you should either be able to connect your MetaMask to directly your attestation vault and also allow social logins and all those features. And then definitely there's a huge, I think, responsibility to standardize schema. So all these attestations which are right now stored on IPFS are basically a JSON schemas. So we're also trying to explore ways that we can work with other attestation service providers so that we can standardize those schemas. What I mean by standardizing those schemas is essentially, if we are giving you an attestation reward, how other people can also give same attestation structures to the same kind of reward. So imagine it's like trying to make sure that everybody is using the same USB-C type charger, and nobody, not everybody is creating their own charger. So attestation is like that fuel or the charger for this network. Yeah. Going forward, after March and April, the plan is we're gonna launch our testnet, wherein we're gonna invite more people to be the part of the network to run nodes and essentially make sure that they can attest these attestation, issue these attestation, and earn rewards based on how much they are approving and how much they are issuing these attestations. So that's going to be launched soon in December. Yeah, I think this is the progress till now and the plan for next 4 months. What is coming? Now I'm going to talk about like how you guys can get involved. So there are like basic 2 ways to get involved. That we can think of, but this part is open, that if you based on what if you want to talk about and if you want to participate in something, feel free to reach out any of us. But yeah, the 2 ways to get involved is, one is participate in different like companies protocol dApps campaigns wherein you are gaining these attestations. So that's like one way to be the part of this network, that you are a user who's helping the early community and getting these attestations. So that's one part. Second part is if you are a little more technical and you want to get involved more, we're going to open up few spots for individuals to start participating as a network nodes. So that's going to be next year. But we're going to start talking to people, so you can run your IPFS node. It's going to be a simple node that you can run on a normal laptop as well. So that's the second way, which we're going to share email to all the people who are interested.